Hey YouTube, what's good? It's Shell and I'm back here with another video. Really cool and really interesting video I have for you today. In my personal opinion, this is one of my favorites just because it's been something that's so true from the time that I said it and realized it all the way up until now. And maybe even from the time that I realized it in life all the way up until now. I want to go ahead and apologize for the production today. It is not the best. I did have some camera issues, and so I did my best to work around them. This video actually was a lot longer, but because of the camera issues, I had to cut it a bit short. If you guys do enjoy this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. These things really do help. One final thing, you can keep up with Fighter and the brand on Instagram right here. And you can subscribe to our newsletter on our website right here. Do stay to the end of the video. I do have some announcements I want to make. And without further ado, please enjoy the video. Today is November 2nd. Today is a Tuesday. You're gonna have to forgive me. I am definitely a bit under the weather. It's been a while since we last talked. Went through Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was amazing, to be honest. Got to see a lot of family and give some thanks. But you know, it's all about that food, baby. Nah, I'm playing. It's all about being grateful and reflecting on those things you have gratitude for. But I'm not gonna lie, the food, they played its part. That's all I'm gonna say. Also had a birthday on the 25th. Really good birthday. I just asked for a party at my parents' house, just me and my immediate family. We did a Simpsons theme, and so that was pretty cool. That was really fun. Asked my pops to make some shrimp po' boys and some fried chicken, and he did those things to a T. So I've been eating good, a little too good. Also got some birthday money that did not last long. Actually overdrafted that birthday money and spent to my own funds, which I'm not particularly happy with myself about. But I got some good things. So, you know, you gotta sacrifice something, I guess. Either you get the things or you don't. But yeah, also I went to go see Ricky Velez with my sister a couple Christmases ago. We saw him, I guess, just working out in one of the comedy clubs that we were at, and he made us fans that night. And so we went to go see him. My uncle put me on this comedian named Ali Sadiq a couple years ago, I feel like it was at this time, and we went to go see him. That was pretty cool. And I have gotten these tickets, the Ricky tickets and the Sadiq tickets, months in advance. Like, we were excited to be able to go and do that. So that was fun. I was watching this interview that Pharrell Williams did, and in it he said something that really resonated with me. It's something that, like, literally a couple days before I had watched the interview, I thought to myself, and so it was cool to hear him say it. What he said was, I believe the question was something along the lines of, you know, how do you design these clothes, or like what do you think about when you're making like your men's fashion, or something along those lines. And his answer was, I don't make men's clothing, I make clothes for people. And you know, that's how I feel when I'm designing. At one, I don't see my brand as a men's fashion brand, not only because I want to be able to design women's clothes, but the pieces that I make, they're not like, I wouldn't say that this piece is for a man or this piece is for a woman necessarily. It's just good clothing, you know. It's like saying I make rap music. No, I make music. I make good music, and that's how I kind of see my clothes. So I thought that was really cool to actually hear someone else, and someone who's doing it at the level that he's at, to say that. I felt like that was really cool to see. The brand has had some ups and downs, of course, you know, it's just a part of it, but the voice actor that I really liked, that fell through, and we are not going to be working together. It's very strange, the way it kind of played out. I sent him the agreement to review, and he didn't want to sign any agreement, which is strange because I mentioned that we agreed to meet up and do the read-through, and then at the read-through I let him review it and all those things, and it's just weird. He didn't want to, and he kept saying I'm doing this to you as a favor, and I want to do this for you as a favor, and all these things, and he didn't necessarily want to be compensated, and I don't know, that just didn't sit right well with me. I had to make it clear to him in a professional way, I don't want any favors from anyone, and I'm not looking at this as a favor. I'm looking at this as an opportunity for us to collaborate and produce something. And he's an older gentleman, so I guess he had his reasons, but for me, I don't want to do business if we can't handle this in a professional manner, if we can't sign an agreement, and I was willing to adjust the agreement just so we could meet on terms, but he wasn't even willing to do that. And when I realized that he was at the point where he didn't want to sign anything, I told him thank you for your time, and I wish you well, but this is not gonna work out for us. So that's that. Also, brother, oh my gosh, I've been working on this website, and I hired this guy so I designed my website in Wix, later to find out that it's not a smooth transition to take just the layout that you design and put it into Shopify. And so I hired someone to do that, to migrate the website, and bro, this dude is all the patience I have, he gets up to that very last drip drop. I remember the first time he told me he was done, he was finished with the whole website. I went and looked, bro. It looked absolutely nothing like the website that I designed, and it's been a headache to deal with. But honestly, we're nearing the end of that journey with him. I hired him on the 19th. He told me he could do it in 3 days. I sent him the link just to double check, hey, there's this and that going on the website. He's like, yeah, bro, I got it, all this and that. It's now December the 2nd. The website is not done. And so, but progress is being made on that. Also, in that he was not able to, there were so many complications with the Fighters and Friends, the club idea that I had. I just decided that, right now, especially when I launched initially, we are just going to go without that. And so I had him delete that page and delete everything pertaining to it. And it's tough because it's something that I am passionate about, and I feel like in that space is where I'll really be able to help people, because I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm literally there, I'm there for you at your aid. I'm trying to teach you something. I'm trying to teach you, clothes and fashion and shopping and all these things the way that I see it to help you. And it's just one of those things we're gonna have to put to the side. We're not gonna throw it out, and hopefully we can circle back to it, and it can be done the right way. Because like I said, if I'm gonna do something, I want it to be done right. I don't want to half do it, and I don't want to do that idea if it can't be done to the level of which I see it in my mind. And so, I just decided to go without that. And I'm already juggling so many hats, I think it's just best to focus on the clothes and everything else at this moment. Also, speaking of, I could feel that shift, that transition shift when it comes to designing and, having these ideas and putting them together. Because even when I'm not designing, I'm designing, if that makes sense. And now I've kind of pivoted in this window where now I'm more on the technical side. and I didn't expect it to be so like lined, but it definitely is. And I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing, but I guess I'm gonna find out. I work on these things and my attention is fully in media, or how to get that going, and it's fully on the website, and how to get that going is fully on products and the setup and shipping and it's like all these things. So where even the production of them, it's like when I'm focusing on the production, the design is already set up, that's already done. Now it's how do we bring this thing to life in the way that I designed it, or the way that's in my head. And it's interesting. I'm not gonna say I like it better or worse than just the design process, because the design is where I'm allowed to see the world in the way that's in my head, and try to bring that onto a piece of paper. And that's fun to try to. That's a fun task. This one is a little different. I think both of them can have their headaches. Both of them can have their ups. Another thing, I received the first and second round of my team's content to put out. The first round was too dark. Everything was like black and a deep dark red, and the images were on that same trend of deep and dark, and that's just not what I want, or how I see my brand. That's not the look and feel I want them to have. And especially, like, I told my friend about what I was doing, and his first thoughts, because of the eyes, he was like, Illuminati. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's funny because, like, that's me being the man, the Christian man that I am, is the furthest thing from that. And me, this is just my art, but at the same time, you're like, I get it. And then you couple that with, if I'm posting deep dark stuff, it's like, well, I get what you're saying, but it definitely looks like this. So I don't even want that to be, obviously people are gonna say and think whatever they feel or want to, but they just weren't my taste for the brand. And then I know, especially when people, a friend already says this one thing, you don't want to feel that fire in any type of way. And so I told them that. They sent back new content, and it was kind of the same content, slightly different. The colors weren't as dark, but still, like, it had no life for me. Like, it seemed, and I hate to be critical because I'm fans of them and their work, but it seemed a little stale and it just wasn't. I'm not even going to say that, because that's not fair. I'm going to say that it wasn't what I want or what I envisioned for the brand to look like. That's where we're at in that process. And, hopefully I say that, and I haven't posted on the brand's page in about a week, maybe a week and a half. And so, it's gonna fall on me again to dive into that world, and that's hard. Like, those few posts I did make, that was not easy. Maybe on the scale of things, it wasn't that difficult, but to make something that I think looks good, that also it hits the goals of what I'm trying to do, it's just not, it's not my world for real. And that's okay. I accept that. That's what it is. But yeah, so hopefully we get that now. More growing pains. Or this was, I remember saying that I'm excited to go through the growing pains and the learns and the lessons. Well, they showed up. And I feel like I handled it well. I've already paid 3 people to use their image for their eyes, and I'm learning now that I may not be able to use them in the ways that I was hoping to, because they didn't have enough pixels. And I've already, made this agreement with these people. I've already paid them. They've fulfilled their end of the deal per my request, and it's already hard enough to get them to do it the first time. So trying to find a way to pivot off of that is gonna be tough, because to have paid someone for something, especially when you don't have an endless pool of funds in the first place, and to not be able to use it, that's a big blow. And so I'm in the process now of trying to find a way where I can still use those images and get out of them, what I would hope to. But we'll see how that goes. But I know for sure, at least, I won't be able to print them normally on the t-shirts or any pieces of clothing. And so hopefully I'm able to pivot off of that. But I'm trying. Also, a good part is I gave you a lot of downs right there. I'm really finding my flow as far as the fabrics and textures of the clothes, because when I'm designing and creating, for the most part, I'm just looking at colors, types of clothing. Does this look good? How do I feel about this? Does this go in this season? Like, that's the type of mental I'm going on. I'm going based off, do things look good without the idea of textures, or not completely without, but I'm basically painting or drawing or coloring, however you want to put it. Not coloring, but drawing or painting. And so now, I began to put that work in as far as studying, the textures and the types of patterns. For the longest time, there's this pattern that I knew of since I was a kid. Didn't know what it was called until literally the other day. I bought a coat, and it has a houndstooth print. It's a white coat with a multicolored houndstooth pattern. Literally never knew, and I didn't know what it was called till even after I bought the coat. But because I've been doing my diligence in that field, those things, they just have started to come out, and it's expanding my design, because now I'm not just designing with these things in mind. Now adding that to the layer, now I'm able to open up a new world of creation, and now I'm able to go back into the things I have designed and say, that would look amazing this way, with this print, with this pattern, with this texture. And part of that, was the situation with not being able to use those eyes anymore, because being able to still use them, it's not going to be just a straight, I'm going to print this on cotton. It's going to have to look or be different or modified in some way for it to still be effective. And that story is what my brand is built on. You set these goals in life, and life just has these hurdles, these obstacles set out for you, that are literally unavoidable. Does that make sense? That in order to print a picture, you have to have a certain amount of pixels if you want it to look good? Of course that makes sense. But at the time, I didn't know those things, and so I went through these steps, and now I get to this certain step, and it's not going to be how I envisioned it. But because of that, it played a role in me learning, other things and other techniques, and a whole other side of the brand that I need to know, of the art form that I need to know. And that's gonna take me so much farther sooner, or I the way I see it is just on time, but it's gonna take me so much farther than if I would not have had to learn that lesson that soon. And so I'm grateful for those sorts of obstacles, and that's why I say I was excited to be able to get into some of the lessons and learns, what some may call as losses, because I know that in turn they're going to make me better and advance me in whatever it is I'm doing. Also, I want to say, I don't believe that I've talked about it yet, but there's this boxer by the name of Chris Eubanks Sr., and he put this into terms in a very specific way that I had not heard yet. And the topic is metaphysics. Bear with me because I'm not an expert on this, and I'm regurgitating something that I heard a while ago, put together with things that I've heard over the span of years. But it's essentially manifestation, but not manifestation alone. It is manifestation coupled with, this is what I believe, this is what I feel inside and out, and I'm going to live as if this thing that I'm manifesting already is. It's just, it has not come into my life yet, but it's true. It's not a belief. It's not I want this to happen. This is who I am. This is what's done. It's just, it has not found me yet. And that whole idea is why I don't subscribe to the idea of time, because I feel like time is a creation, but I don't lock myself in the box of time, because things happen and it's a trigger of events that cause things to happen. It's not time that causes things to happen. It's not because I turned 24 or because I turned 48, I've unlocked this mental, that's not how it works. It's things in your life are orchestrated, whether you see it that way or not, that's fine. But things in your life happen and cause other things to happen that cause realizations, that cause death, that cause life. And in this instance, for me personally, my favorite brand is Burberry. And I've always said that Burberry is so cool because, to me, for my personal style, they do the best at making clothes to where you can be wearing Burberry and nobody knows it's Burberry. It's just beautiful pieces of clothing. And other brands do that well, but for my style, Burberry does it the best in my opinion. But my only knock on Burberry was they stay so close to their core, and it seems like they don't try anything, or they don't branch out and try to push the limit a little bit. They're too close to their core identity as Burberry. I was thinking one day just about Sel, what do you want to do? And instantly I was like, I'm going to be the creative director at Burberry one day. And I fully believe that. And I fully believe that it will one day happen. To me, it is, okay, this is what I see for myself. I need to live my days as if I'm already that guy. I need to think mentally as if I am. Let me switch it up a little bit. When I'm thinking and I'm going through these everyday life events, how would the creative director at Burberry think these things? When I speak to people, how would the creative director of Burberry say these things? When I'm sitting, my posture right now, how would the creative director of Burberry sit in this chair and speak to you? This is what I mean by metaphysics when I say you live your life according to these things as if they already are. I have a lot of people that say, Marcellus, you're completely nuts, you're crazy. And maybe the truth, it may be in your favor if you say that. There may be people who say, Marcellus, what you just said, that you're going to be the creative director of Burberry. You're sitting here at 24, you just started your clothing brand, your heads are in the clouds. There's no way that's going to happen. It's too lofty of a goal. And I will tell that person, you are right. That is too lofty of a goal for you. But for me, I'm going to do everything in my power to reach that goal. And the reason that goal will find me, because since the time that I've spoken into existence, I've carried myself in the manner of which that goal dictates or requires, you know, and I fully believe those things. And someone else might say, well, Marcellus, like, you've had dreams, lofty goals before, and they didn't work out. So what makes you so confident that this will? And and what I would tell that person is, you're right. I've had lofty goals before. I said that I was going to go be a first round pick in the NFL. I said that I was going to play for the Detroit Lions, and fully, wholeheartedly believe these things. I would die on a mountain in belief that these things will happen. There's no way that these things will happen. And at 24 years old, all the way to my first breaths of life, those things did not occur. My argument would be that is more of the reason of why these things that I've set out for myself now will occur. I didn't have these tools that I have now, but I only gained them through those other dreams that didn't manifest themselves. What's up, guys? Hope you enjoyed that video. Again, I really do apologize for the production issues. Like I said before, I did do my best to work around them, and hopefully the video is decent enough for you still to enjoy it. Now, for the news, Fighter has just announced the release of the first collection. This collection is called Perspective. I don't want to say too much about the collection. I want to allow it to speak for itself and then be an aid here and there as need be. To keep tabs on this collection, in our first round, there are 3 places that will best suit you to stay updated: my personal Instagram, the brand's Instagram, and of course, the Fighter website. I'll be posting major updates on my personal Instagram page as well as Fighter's Twitter. You can find fun and more general information on Fighter's Snapchat and Fighter's TikTok. For all brand news, brand graphics, brand details, collection details, round details, the overall best place to go is Fighter's Instagram page. If you want the news and you want early updates and early access, the best place to sign up is Fighter's website. We are closer now than ever before. I'm very excited for this journey, and I know you are as well. So please, hear me. Right now is the time to lock in, because I promise you, nobody's gonna wanna miss this, and I'm gonna feel really bad if you do. So get updated, tap into all the socials, sign up on the website, and make sure you don't miss a beat. I love you guys. It's been a heck of a ride, and as always, keep fighting.